Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss the topic that are mitochondria and plastid. In previous classes also you have read about mitochondria and plastid, but here we are going to discuss in detail. The first topic, that is mitochondria. So you all are aware with this term, and you all know that mitochondria, that is powerhouse of the cell. Why it is called powerhouse of the cell, we will discuss. If we are talking about discovery of mitochondria, so mitochondria were first discovered by Kolliker during working on muscle cells of insect. It is present in both plants and animal cells. We are talking about the structure of mitochondria. So it is a double membranous structure. You can see here in the structure. A mitochondria is a double membranous structure. Means the first membrane is called outer membrane and the second membrane is called inner membrane. This is only written here. It is a double membranous structure. One is a outer, that is a smooth membrane. Outer membrane is smooth membrane, while inner membrane is remain folded into finger-like projection called cristae. So let's see in the diagram. The outer membrane is a smooth, while the inner membrane, you can see here, this is folded into finger-like projection, and this finger-like projection is known as cristae. On the cristae region, rounded structure are present, and this rounded structure is called F1 particles, oxysomes or elementary particles. The liquid content which is present, a jelly-like substance which is present here, that is called matrix. In the matrix region, DNA and ribosomes is also present. So mitochondria is also known as semi-autonomous organelles. Why? Because it's contain its own genetic material, means DNA, and by replication it can prepare multiple copy, and because of that it is called semi-autonomous organelles. So if we are talking about the energy production, so on the cristae region you are seeing the F1 particles. Basically this cristae, we can say this is the site for aerobic respiration. Why does aerobic respiration means? A respiration which takes place in presence of oxygen is called aerobic respiration. So what will happen? The food item, we can understand here. This food in the presence of oxygen, this will form CO2, H2O, and the energy that will release, that will be stored in the form of ATP. So you can see here the food will oxidize in the presence of oxygen. This will release carbon dioxide, water, and the energy that will release, that will be stored in the form of ATP. So this cristae is a site for aerobic respiration. And how you can see here how energy will release. The full form ATP is known as adenosine triphosphate, and ATP is also known as energy currency of the cell. If we'll see the structure here, we'll see the structure of the F1 particle. So mainly this will consist three parts. The rounded structure is known as head, and the second is the stalk, and this is the base. This is the structure of the F1 particle, that is also called oxysome. So this is only written. The notes also, the cristae is responsible for generation of energy in the form of ATP. Just now I have discussed. And the liquid content which is present in the empty space, that is known as matrix, that contain respiratory enzymes for the oxidation of the glucose. The next topic, that is a plastid. Plastid are the characteristic of the plant cell. We all know that plastid is only present in the plant cell. This is absent in the animal cell. We are talking about the structure of plastid. So it is a double membranous structure with its own genetic material as well as ribosomes. The way, so just now I have discussed mitochondria is called semi-autonomous organelles. The same way plastid is also called semi-autonomous organelles. So there are two organelles. So one is a mitochondria, another is the plastid, that is called semi-autonomous organelles. Why? Because contain their own genetic material, and by replication they can just prepare the multiple copy. So because of this is called semi-autonomous organelles. Depending upon the pigment, the plastid divided into three. The first type of plastid is a chloroplast, the second type of plastid is a chromoplast, and third type of the plastid is a leucoplast. Plastid is also known as kitchen of the cells. If you are seeing the structure of the, first we will discuss chloroplast. The chloroplast is a double membranous structure. Here you can see the first membrane is outer membrane and the second membrane is a inner membrane. Inside, the liquid or jelly-like substance which is present in this empty space, that is known as stroma. And here you are seeing is in stroma region, this coin-like structure is present and which are stacked together and forming a group, here we can say a pile, that is known as granum. Means this one part of this granum is known as thylakoid, and the group of thylakoid, if we will join one thylakoid like this, so this will form a pile which is known as granum. And if we will take a one part of this granum, this is known as thylakoid. One granum is attached with another granum with the structure you can see here, and the structure is known as lamellae. So we can say that one granum is attached with another granum with the structure is known as lamellae. Now, the very important thing is that this granum, if we are talking about this granum, so this will contain, especially this thylakoid, the one part of the granum is called thylakoid. So this will contain different types of pigment like chlorophyll, xanthophyll, carotene. But this chlorophyll pigment which is present here, that is present in the high concentration, and this will trap the sun radiation and will help in photosynthesis. The granum is a site for light reaction, we can say. What is light reaction? Actually, photosynthesis is completed in two phases, and the first phase of the photosynthesis, that is called light reaction, and the second phase is known as dark reaction. In detail we will discuss in class 10. So the first phase of photosynthesis, light reaction. So this light reaction will be completed in the granum, and dark reaction that will completed in the stroma region. So this is the structure. Another thing is also, this will also contain DNA, ribosomes as well as stars. So let's see. The chromoplast are the plastid which imparts color other than the green. If we are talking about the another type of plastid, that is a chromoplast. So chroma means color. Chroma means color. Means this plastid will also impart the color except the green color. Leucoplast, leuco means colorless. Leucoplast are the plastid, we can say that it is the colorless plastid which are basically performing the storage function. If leucoplast will store carbohydrate, then this is known as amyloplast, and if this will store the lipid, then this is known as oleoplast. Now, chloroplasts are the green plastid that contain chlorophyll, xanthophyll and carotene pigments. We will see the structure of chloroplast. Already I have discussed through the diagram. Here I have written some points. Let's see. It is a double membranous structure which include living matrix called stroma. Inside the chloroplast, stroma, thylakoid, granum and lamellae are present. Here you can see what is lamellae. This one granum is attached with another granum with a structure that is known as lamellae. Thylakoid are coin-like structure. You can see here, this is a coin-like structure which are stacked together and forming a pile which is known as granum. Thylakoid contain chlorophyll pigments along with the xanthophyll and carotenes. But this chlorophyll pigment that is present in high concentration in the thylakoid. We are talking about the function of chloroplast. So this will help in photosynthesis, impart color to the leaf because leaf contain a chlorophyll pigment, and because of that the color of leaf that is green. It helps in storage and it will generate oxygen. So I hope you are clear with the topic, and the next topic I'll cover in the next video. Thank you.